Call Novamar Insurance for your yacht, home, auto, and commercial insurance needs. Come visit Novamar Insurance Group's newest office located at 1950 West Pacific Coast Highway in Newport Beach and meet Craig Chamberlain and Charlie Bailey. Welcome to the 72nd annual 2019 Newport to Ensenada International Yacht Race from Newport Beach, California. This is Marcos Weinstein for MDI Films and Yacht Racing Live. This year, we have almost 200 boats competing in 3 different races, and for the first time, owners can choose to go to either Dana Point, San Diego, or all the way to Ensenada. This year, as in every year in the past, many classes compete. As a matter of fact, 15 this year, making NOSA official timer Bill McNamara incredibly busy on the start line. Conditions were light and shifty, as is normal for Newport Beach this time of year, and with almost 200 boats out there, it was quite a day watching everybody gather around for the start line. Some of the most unique entrants this year were boats that have never competed before. One as special was the AC-45 from Jerry Fiat, which was the Oracle America's Cup foiling catamaran. Very unusual sight here for the locals and the regular racers that come every year to race. The Newport Ensenada International Yacht Race is a regular race for a lot of people. This is the biggest race they look forward to every year, and they're excited about it. Some have done it 25 times, some have done it 10 times, some have only done it once. It doesn't matter. Everybody loves this race, and they get down to Ensenada and have a great time. Iconic names like OEX, Pyewacket, Vesper, It's Okay, Grand Illusion, and the smaller boats. If you look down the fleet, all the little guys, I would call them the rank and file of the Southern California sailing scene, like Dan Rawson on Problem Child, who's a double-handed guy, and Ouija with Charlie Welsh, and Tiburon with Doug Steele. So many entrants, so many people that are committed to doing this race. It's an incredible event. Scanning across the entrance list, I see names like Amante, Pole Dancer, and one of the newest entrants for our local historic yacht, Chubasco, owned by Commodore Bill Durant and his partner John Carpenter out of Long Beach Yacht Club. This iconic old yacht was in Newport Beach for most of its life, has been given a new life, and now is on the racing circuit. Look for her at Transpac too. One of our sponsors, actually from Mexico, Santiago, aboard his boat, Abella Boy, made it all the way from Mexico just in time to get into the unlimited class, sailing against that AC-45 from Jerry Fiat. A very unlikely combo starting on the line together. And watching that start line was quite fun as Santiago got over the line on time and the AC-45, struggling to foil in the light winds, finally made it across the line about 30 seconds late. We're going to go now to Bill McNamara, NOSA's historian and official race timer, for a little background on some of the history and characters in the Ensenada race. Bill?
Welcome to the 72nd Newport to Ensenada International Yacht Race. I'm Bill McNamara, Race Committee Timer and one of hundreds of volunteers that make this annual regatta possible. In 1947, the founding members of the Newport Ocean Sailing Association, NOSA, got this crazy idea about having a bunch of people together to promote ocean sailing and development of a race from Newport Beach. Members called the first race the Governor's Cup, and 117 boats paid $22.50 to register for that just-for-fun race, April 23, 1948. In a subsequent year, the Governor of California actually showed up to hand out the trophies. I'd like to welcome all of our viewers aboard Motor Vessel Shootist, generously provided by BCYC member Jim Buchanan. Back in the day, the fastest and most modern sailboats had wooden hulls and flew natural fiber sails. You could buy a home in Orange County for $8,000 or a gallon of gas for 16 cents. There were no electronics, no carbon fiber hulls, no code zero sails, satellite or cell phones, and no yellow brick trackers. It was just sailboats, a compass, a sextant, and the stars, including Humphrey Bogart. In the years that followed, the race changed and adapted to accommodations of new fiberglass hulls, specific classes, and the performance handicap racing fleet to provide a method of handicapping various boats in this race. Dozens and dozens of trophies were added over the years, and there were a lot of people with boats back then, and year after year, more and more entrants participated. Today, the race offers a history of innovation and the rise of technology in sailing, but there's still an ongoing narrative of mankind's quest to pit sailboats against sailboats and Mother Nature in the quest to break records or knock a bucket item off their list. Today's competitors are an eclectic mix of hardcore racers on some of the newest and most technologically advanced boats who sail on the very same course as weekend sailors in more than 40 classes that accommodate the PHRF fleet. More than 40 trophy categories are awarded annually in monohull, multi-hull, and cruising classes. A little motivation to include today's modern and busy sailor, no matter what they sail. The addition of 2 new courses in 2018, one to San Diego and the other to Dana Point, continues the founders' missions of promoting racing out of Newport Beach. NOSA really wants to offer veteran sailors the opportunity to keep sailing, even if Mexico is not an option for them. At the same time, NOSA wants to encourage the next generation of sailors to get on the water and start racing in whatever they have in hopes they will move up in the future. In other words, we want everyone to sail and do their best with what they have. Just come and sail with us. On the Dana Point course, watch for Pillow Talk, a Hunter 33.5 helmed by former NOSA Commodore Rod Woods, who is double-handing the race with his daughter-in-law. Although there is a wide range of boats on this course from 14 to 49 feet, NOSA really wants to turn this sprint into the fun race for high school and collegiate sailors, those in dinghies and Olympic class boats, as well as we more seasoned sailors who just want to take a little short ride down the coast. The San Diego course sports 34 boats in 4 different classes. Michael Marion's boat, a Dufour Grand Large, is 52 feet of elegance on the water. We're not sure how fast this boat is, but it will sure look sleek and sexy along the way. Conversely, we'll be looking for Sir Tuffy, a 38 Alberg that has the race's highest rating. This classic yacht is likely to be an example of slow and steady. If it sails well, there might be a trophy in its future. Back on the course and always competitive is John Chalet. John has raced Pussycat in the race 51 times. We sure hope he gets his name on another trophy. On the main course to Ensenada, 26 boats are competing in the cruise and Jenniker classes, with and without spinnakers. These are the boats bought for fun for cruising and family vacations, until someone invited them to a race. Now many of these skippers wouldn't imagine missing Newport Ensenada. These great boats and fun skippers won't be breaking any speed records, but the race would not be the same without them. They are colorful, fun, and bring great spirit to this course. A race favorite to watch is Cheerio 2, a 1931 wooden yawl, 46 feet long, that has been helmed for the last 20 Newport to Ensenada races by Richard McNish, who turns 92 this year. If you've ever heard anyone say that they are too old to race, or too old for this race, they should have a chat with Mr. McNish. Dick and his crew of senior citizens have collected trophies in Ensenada, winning the PHRF E class twice in the last 3 years. Did you know that Dick is the namesake of the McNish Classic Yacht Race? This event, for wooden boats only, will run again this summer for the 42nd time. Dick started the race because it was too hard for wooden boats to compete and win against the plastic fantastics. And here's why. This boat has the second highest rating in the course. For those of you familiar with handicapping, it has a PHRF rating of 232. It's like the highest rating given a boat with a 14-mile head start. Go, Cheerio, go. Last year, Ohana, the 1982 55-foot Swede, racing in PHRF E with world-class sailor Bill Hardesty at the helm, and his 3-year-old son as his side, beat all but 2 huge trimarans. Hardesty, a 12-time world champion, sailed the family cruiser, and on their second try became an award-winning long-distance racer as well. They took home the coveted President of USA trophy for best corrected time, all PHRF, and the Gil Knudsen trophy for best corrected time, PHRF Class D. This year, however, Ohana was bumped to PHRF B, as the handicapping classes are changed every year. Over in the PHRF class, there's another wide range of boat models and sizes. Making its return to the race after an extended hiatus is the fabulous Chubasco. Architecturally graceful and pristine, the boat has a history of winning. Here's a fun fact. When Chubasco sold a few years ago, the previous owner went through the boat, making sure to remove personal items. Among the belongings was a classic NOSA trophy that had been missing for 50 years. Yes, this is one of the reasons that if you are fortunate enough to win a NOSA trophy, you'll be signing a custody agreement. Also in PHRF A is Carolyn Star Trophy winner Terry Minook, who has again entered her pole dancer with an all-female crew. Last year, the Southern California Yachting Association awarded Minook the coveted Peggy Slater Memorial Award, a very high honor for a woman sailor because it is bestowed on those who help grow the sport for other women. Pole dancer, with its, as you can imagine, fun logo, and her team are usually dressed in bright pink shirts. Not so local is the Canadian team aboard the Kite 35 sailing in the ultra-light displacement boat Class C. Owner David Noson bought the boat here 5 years ago with the intent of taking it back to his Lake of the Woods Yacht Club in northwestern Ontario, Canada. Someone convinced him they should race the Newport to Ensenada race before they took it back on a trailer. He did, and had so much fun, the boat has stayed right here. The boat has done well in its class each year. Another competitor that's a real problem for other double-handed sailors is Dan Rosen in Problem Child. We've lost count on how many times his duo has been on the podium in Ensenada. Speaking of problematic children, Charlie Welsh, sailing Ouija, is not one of them. Although his Red Star sailing team entered this last minute, the Newport-based organization is a non-profit sailing program designed to inspire the next generation of sailors. According to their website, the concept began as a way to develop big boat sailing skills for young sailors and to be a training platform to foster the next generation of great American sailors. Charlie is using this race as a warm-up to the Transpac race in July from Los Angeles to Honolulu, Hawaii. Reportedly, he will be racing with an all-female crew. Sadly, even just one guy on the crew means they cannot compete in the all-women category. Not that men are not known to try. Remember the year the Stealth Chicken skipper sailed with an all-female crew, approaching the starting line in a short skirt and a long brunette wig? He was found out before the finish. And that's an example of classic Newport to Ensenada shenanigans and sailing spirit. Once we hit the ULDB A and B classes, the competition starts to really heat up. Look for Fast Exit, a modified Andrews 40. It just won the Newport to Cabo race on corrected time. And the Far 40 Foil is another strong competitor, and we are glad to see Newport to Ensenada is on their list this year. Advanced training and the right safety equipment is really key. Foil experienced a man overboard drill in 2017. Everyone was fine, and they finished the race. There are experts at maneuvering for a good start. They keep an eye on the competition, and boats like Freedom, the Melges 32, Carbon Footprint, the Rogers 46, and Flakita, a Reichel Pew, will doubtlessly do well in these classes. In the ULDB Maxi class, look for the closest racing of the year. This is the class in which minutes will make the difference between winning and losing, and that's saying a lot for a 125-mile race. Jim Bailey's Destroyer, who did well in the Newport to Cabo race, has a secret weapon for N2E this year. Well-known and trophy-winning navigator Peter Eisler will be aboard, as will Bruce Cooper of Ullman Sails, and of course Bailey's three sons. It's Okay, OEX, Pendragon 4 are all tough competitors with experienced crew. We're very happy to welcome back Taxi Dancer as well. With its bright yellow hull, this is easily one of the most photographed boats in the race. And year after year, and after all these years, Pyewacket is still a very serious contender. Through the 1990s, the Maxi class exploded with bigger, faster, and lighter boats. Radar, weather faxes, GPS technology grew by leaps and bounds. And Roy Disney's 68-foot Andrews Pyewacket, the fastest in 1999 and 2001, and again winning on the newer Pyewacket in 2006, dominated racing in Southern California and beyond. Although Disney broke a lot of records on Pyewacket, it was Azoo, a 63-foot Australian-built Reichel Pew, that in 2016 made it to Ensenada in less than 10 hours, a record almost unthinkable to the sailors of the first N2E. The record could have been challenged this year by Alive, another Reichel Pew, a 66, making its race debut. We look forward to seeing them on the line. Formerly sailed as Stark Raving Mad, this boat has the lowest rating of the race at minus 147. The lesson here, Australians make fast boats. This one will be one to watch, and one that will surely make us feel alive. Over in the exciting Orca class, for multi-hull boats, all eyes will be on Bill Gibbs' exotic and eye-catching Schroening GF 1400. He's NOSA's Vice Commodore of race, and probably the Newport to Ensenada's winningest sailor. His name is on many trophies many times. And for years he sailed afterburner, but bought Wahoo about 3 years ago, claiming he was looking for more of a cruiser. Gibbs and crew cleaned up the first time Yahoo entered the race, taking home no less than 4 trophies. If there's a bookie taking odds on the race, he should seriously take a look at the boat again. In a Newport to Ensenada first, Utah resident Jerry Fiat has entered Lux, an AC-45. AC stands for America's Cup. This was Oracle's practice boat. Not only a 45 feet of very fast catamaran, but a foiling catamaran as well. It's one of the most technically advanced boats in the world and will be crewed by world-class sailor and yacht designer and sailing industry influencer Pete Melvin, and a non-professional crew with less than 2 weeks of training. Side note, in 2014, Melvin won top Newport to Ensenada honors on a 30-foot boat he built himself called Mama Tried. But this boat, a month ago it was in 2 shipping containers on a dirt lot in Long Beach. Today they are the first foiling boat to participate in a coastal race. And they're sailing in the Unlimited class, home to new-to-market and experimental boats, those that are super cool, super fast, and those that we have no idea how to rate. And they're sailing in the Unlimited class. The only other competitor in this class this year is an Oceanus 40, a Belle a Boy, entered from Mexico by our sponsor Santo Tomas Winery. Because this boat entered on the final day of registration, this Ensenada boat did not have a rating. And the racing rules say we must have a rating if you're going to compete with other handicapped boats. So the Oceanus 40, pretty much a cruising boat from Beneteau, is going to be racing in the Unlimited class. This matchup will make one of the most interesting starts in race history, a classic tortoise and hare scenario. A bellboy will enjoy smooth sailing, probably with dinner aboard that is paired nicely with a selection of fine wines, and a very nice warm cabin for the crew to rest after each shift. Lux, on the other hand, has no cabins, no shelter, no lights, and is blisteringly fast. No lights inside, that is. While they are hoping to get south before Oceanus' second course, the boat's ability to sail distances in extreme weather is highly suspect. The best winds for this boat are in the 12 to 15 knot range. Higher winds mean higher seas and more chop, which slows the boat and could be a safety hazard. And yes, there is a chase boat that will be following Lux all the way down the course. And yes, it was the Orca-class trimarans that hold the record for fastest elapsed time. Set in 2016, Orion, a Mod 70, crossed the finish line in 5 hours, 17 minutes, and 20 seconds, breaking the former record of 6 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds, set by the late Steve Fawcett on the yacht Stars and Stripes in 1998. Whether or not it's going to be a record-breaking year, we wish our racers a fast, fun, and safe race, and look forward to seeing the winners in Dana Point, San Diego, and hearing their stories at the Hotel Corral and Marina in Ensenada. And with that, Newport to Ensenada 72 is officially ready to go.
Okay, we've got the last race, and we've got a lot of boats in the offshore 1 o'clock start race, probably 15 boats. We've got the first boat, which we are going to be talking about, is Beaver. Where's the Beaver? He is right there. He's getting ready for the start line. Glen Everode. He's on a Lindbergh 26. And then Pillow Talk, Rod Woods, who's involved in NOSA as well. He's one of our board members, very active guy. Cool Man Cool, Eric Ritzmacher on the CNC 38. Blitz, Brian Nickel. Altheris, Ray Booth with some local sailing friends of mine with the beer cans. Beverly, hello. Kaimana, Mark Gerber, Hunter 30. Mercy, Charles Gromlich on the Newport 27. Black Irish, that beautiful Hinckley we were talking about earlier. The Bermuda 40 down on the start line. And then the iconic name from Newport Beach, Chuck Brewer on Heartbeat 4. He last minute decided to sail the boat. Chuck has been racing in many different versions, iterations of Heartbeat. This is the 4th one, and you saw the one donated to the Sea Scout base where the youth were sailing on the Yellow Hulk boat. So anyway, Chuck is one of the highly regarded yachtsmen here in Newport Beach, so congratulations and good luck to Chuck. And then Firewater, Marty Henneman on his J92. dream catcher, Chris Chase Dunn, on his Jeannot 49. What a nice, comfortable yacht. They must be baking a Chateaubriand as we speak. And then we've got Tequila, which is a different spelling than he might be enjoying south of the border, should you make it. And then Beulah's Biscuits, Dennis Swift on his Far 30. And then rounding it up with the J70 Sloop John B. So good for them. Heading off to Dana Point for the 11-mile jaunt down the coast. So here we go. We're within sequence. We're going to get Bill McNamara to give us some 30 seconds to starting signal. Okay, stand by. Let's get some shots of the line. Don, go show the boats.
And 1 gun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
And we see the white smoke of the gun, and they're off to Dana Point. We've got a great breeze here.
That was the starting signal for the Dana Point bound Portsmouth class on the inshore line and the Dana Point bound PHRF spin class on the offshore line.
And in case you haven't noticed, well, we haven't shown you, the offshore line has one boat sailing in it, all by itself. That's Tilldog.
Classes on all 3 courses of the 72nd Newport to Ensenada International Yacht Race are underway. Race safe and race fair. NOSA committee timer, Bill McNamara, clear on VHF 6.
Thank you very much, Bill McNamara. Great job doing your countdown sequences. You have a really great voice for radio. So thank you for all your help there. And we want to thank Bahia Corinthian Yacht Club for sponsoring this boat with Mr. Buchanan. We're going to take you in and watch the rest of the fleet finish. But thank you again to the Newport Ensenada racing officials for having this event, the 72nd annual Newport Ensenada International Yacht Race. Here we are on Shoot Us, Mr. Buchanan's boat. Thank you, and we want to thank all of our sponsors for making this possible today. Thank you to Don Logan for flying those drones. We know it's our first year. We're trying to get it right. Thank you for all tuning in and seeing what we're doing out here, trying to make yacht racing exciting. So keep in, share this link, talk about it, support our sponsors, and we want to say hi to Lori Morrison too as the committee. Come on in, Lori.
You can watch the boats now offshore with YB Tracking at NOSA.org or download the app.
Download all those apps, NOSA.org, YB Tracking. Thank you, Lori Morrison, for handling communications this year. And again, here we are on Shoot Us from the 2019 Newport Ensenada Yacht Race. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah!
Great job, great job.
Oh, my God.
That's a wrap. That's
Call Novamar Insurance for your yacht, home, auto, and commercial insurance needs. Come visit Novamar Insurance Group's newest office located at 1950 West Pacific Coast Highway in Newport Beach and meet Craig Chamberlain and Charlie Bailey. Thank you for joining us here at Yacht Racing Live for the 72nd Annual Newport to Ensenada International Yacht Race.